Hi again, everybody. Steve Hallstrom here. We are back here for the December Salute to Law Enforcement here on AM1100theflag.com. My name is Steve Hallstrom, one of the people who works over at the Flag and Fieldstone Group, and every month we get to come over and hang out with Brian and his team here and get to meet another great law enforcement agency. And Brian, the place is looking pretty good here for the holidays. You got the teddy bears out and the showroom is full. It's looking good.
Yeah, trying to be festive. We got the wreaths up.
Yeah.
You know, it smells good in here.
It does smell good in here. Yeah, it's that time of year. Everything just, it's a little happier outside, and a little dusting of snow at the holidays doesn't seem too bad either. How are things going at Luther Ford?
No, they're going good. You know, we've got a lot of inventory, like I say, every week, but we've got a lot of inventory. Deals are great right now.
Okay.
So.
Well, you heard the man. There's a deal for everybody here at Luther Family Ford. So, well, the lot and the showroom is as full as I remember it seeing since the COVID days. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you park on the pad right in front of the door like I told you to last time?
No, I didn't. I found a spot a couple miles away and walked over, so it's all great. But thanks for having us over. It's always great to be here with you and your team. And Brian, for those of you who don't know, that spent some time in law enforcement himself earlier in his career, so I know this means a lot to you.
Yeah, it does. You know, it's always nice to give back to these guys that put their lives on the line every day.
Yeah.
So.
You bet. Well, thanks again for having us over here. Today we are saluting the North Dakota Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, and these are people that make sure that we take care of all the folks that need some things to happen along the way in their lives and in their time. So we're thankful to be here with them as well. The Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation is staffed by people across the state of North Dakota, and many of us do not come in contact day to day, or maybe we don't see them out as we would like local police or local sheriffs. So I found a little bit of a description on their website about what they do. And it says the North Dakota Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation provides prison services for the state of North Dakota. The Division of Field Services supervises parolees through 14 field offices. The department also has a division of juvenile services providing supervision and case management of delinquent youth in the state. The agency has its headquarters in Bismarck. The head of the North Dakota Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation is Director Dave Krabenhoff. So simply put, these men and women of the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation serve us faithfully around the clock, and we couldn't be more proud to be here with them and salute these local heroes today. So with that being said, it's time to meet today's and this month's honoree, and it is Parole Specialist Robert Arman from Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Let's give him a round of applause here. Rob, congratulations. Thanks for coming and letting us make a spectacle out of you here for a little bit this morning. We appreciate you coming by. Tell me a little bit about what this means to you and the emotions being here with so many of your team members here today.
It's an honor to be given the award. I couldn't do without the staff support and everybody I've had through my years with the Highway Patrol and Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. So it means a lot to me to be nominated and to get the award. Well,
congratulations. A very deserving honoree for sure. And we are also glad to have a number of people from the department here as well today to make sure that we get a chance to just get that great support from the whole team. That's really great. And Dan Seymour, the program manager, is also here with us today, so we'll be hearing from Dan in just a minute as well. Let me tell you a little bit about Parole Specialist Arman here. He is a native of Bismarck, North Dakota, graduated from Bismarck St. Mary's High School. Arman continued his education at Moorhead State University, graduated with a bachelor's degree in special education. He began his career in law enforcement with the North Dakota Highway Patrol in January of 1997. During his career with the North Dakota Highway Patrol, Arman was involved in DUI enforcement, executive protection team, critical incident stress management team, and tactical response team. Arman was a weapons instructor, standardized field sobriety test instructor, instructor at law enforcement, and state training coordinator for drug recognition program. Arman was awarded Trooper of the Year and Drug Recognition Expert of the Year. He retired as a regional sergeant stationed out of Fargo in October of 2020. Arman Arman joined the North Dakota Department of Corrections in December of 2020 as a parole specialist in Mandan. In January of 2022, Arman transferred to the Fargo Parole and Probation Office as a parole specialist. He's a weapons instructor and certified to fly armed for transports. Arman serves on the Job Pilot Program, the Strategic Re-Entry Program, the Body Camera Committee, and the Parole Plan Investigation Committee. Other than that, it doesn't sound like he does a whole lot at the office there. So again, congratulations, Rob, and thanks for all you do in the community. I love your background. You got started with a bachelor's degree in special education and law enforcement, and now this. So you obviously have a heart for people. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I just chose education because my brother did it at the time, and I enjoyed it, but I was unable to get a facility that was really supportive. All my buddies at the time went criminal justice. It sounded like a great thing. And then I went down the criminal justice path, and it turned out I loved it. And next thing you know, it's been a career.
Yeah, no kidding. And now you kind of get the second chapter of your career here with Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. That is it something you thought you always might want to do, or did you retire and just decide, I'm getting too bored sitting around the house, I got to have something to do here?
I was never too bored. Just after 20 plus years of Highway Patrol, it was time to pull the pin. It was like, after you see days like this, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And so I started looking, and I wanted to say something that was law enforcement oriented. And I worked with DOCR before, a lot of the parole people, and it was thought it'd be a good fit because still teamwork, and that's the part that I miss about most of the stuff. When you want to have a good team that you can see and support and talk to on a daily basis, and that was great with DOCR.
Tell me about it, what it means to have support from your teammates and so many people here supporting you here today.
It means a lot. I'm sure when we have our party this afternoon to celebrate Christmas and office staff, I will get some more stuff that will be a little more close, personal, and
yes, a little more off the record.
Yeah.
We call that off the record in our business, and it works no matter what application we're talking about. No doubt about that. So yeah, they'll have some fun with you, but they love you, and you can tell that they're here because of that. Tell us a little bit. What's a typical day like for you?
It changes from day to day. But like today, I had 2 meetings with 2 clients at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then I went to the center, and that's a halfway house, to do an intake on a new client. Met her, got a release plan, found out where she wants to release in the community, went over, investigated the plan where she wants to talk to the landlord to verify that, and then after that I'll go do all the data entry and chrono stuff in the system, and then meet people throughout the day. So, and some days it works great that you meet people on time. Other days you're just chasing your tail because somebody didn't show and you just are bad day.
Yeah. I have to believe there's so many parts of law enforcement that can be heavy at times, and certainly you've seen that in your career, but the chance that you get with people that are looking to make that new start, that's got to lift your soul a little bit too.
Yeah, it's a great change of pace where when I was at the Highway Patrol, people were going on the front side, getting put away. Now I get to make a change, and you see them and build a relationship that you'll have people for 3, 4, or 5 years. Highway Patrol, I saw them for maybe 15, 20 minutes. So it's much more rewarding that I can help people get back in the community and get back on track.
Do you get people that will reach out to you after a few years? You might bump into them somewhere along the line that you work with, kind of getting them back on their feet. Talk about that experience.
There's a few. There's a guy, I remember my first guy in Mandan. He's reached out to me. We've had a contact through the years, and he's very thankful and stuff because I was patient with him. He had a few relapses and missteps, and we worked through it. And now he's making a lot of money, and he's a great place, got a family and kids, and so it's nice to hear that, that things went well.
Yeah, really good. I'm going to sneak over here and talk to Dan here a little bit. Dan Seymour, Program Manager. Dan, thanks for being here.
Yes.
We appreciate your leadership. Whenever there's good people, there's good leaders, and so thanks for you and your other leaders, what you do. Tell us a little bit. Now, we read all the stuff that I was supposed to say, but tell me, speaking from the heart about this guy and what he means to your team.
First, I do want to thank the Flag and Luther for having this. It means a lot to us and our group, and putting Rob in the spotlight. And Rob means a lot to us. He's one of those guys, he's not saying it, but you ask him to do something and he does it. His work experience speaks for itself, and that's one thing that he brings to our group, is all that experience in our officer safety training. He's is helps us a lot with that. He also is a good role model for my younger staff. I do have some really younger staff that can use the training and his guidance, because he's been out in the community and worked some tough situations, and he knows what to do. So, and he also volunteers when we need something done behind the scenes for the organization. So Rob's a very integral part of our organization, and we appreciate everything he does every day for us.
As far as what your department is doing across the state, any storylines or trends that we should be aware of, or anything that you think the people of North Dakota should just be aware of about the job that you and your people are doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everybody can read the paper, and our prison population is growing. I do need to make one quick correction. Our website isn't updated, but Colby Braun is now our director of Department of Corrections.
Thank you.
Yep, Dave Krabanoff retired, so just want to point that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, our prison population is full. That'll be addressed in the legislative session. I know there's some bills, and we've put some money in our budget to address that if the legislature wants to do that. And so that pushes out in the community. So that puts a lot of pressure on our staff to deal with tough decisions on how to work with someone more in the community, just knowing that the bed space isn't always there for a violation.
Yeah, very interesting. So for those of us that aren't on the street and doing what you do each day, tell me how that matters. So when the jails are full, my initial thought would be that you work with them when they get out of the jail, but do you get maybe involved in some times when maybe people should still be in a facility, and that's why it makes it so difficult?
Right, you get into that gray area. The most obvious situation that I point out, because we work with the Cass County Jail very closely, and Sheriff Johnner is great to us, but just locally what it means to us with their jail being full is we have the opportunity to, if there's a violation, to place someone on a hold in the county jail. However, we don't have that option due to just the capacity of the Cass County Jail. So that's something that is day to day that we see. I mean, there's bigger capacity issues, but that's the one that we struggle with for the last few years, where we used to utilize a hold to just kind of settle someone down, maybe, well, for sure get them sober, get them thinking right, and then help them make some better decisions in the community. And right now we really don't have that option with capacity issues.
And I would guess the population of people you work with, as we get more incarcerations, more people getting out, more people need your services too. Are you able to find the kind of staff and the personnel that you need to keep your office running?
We're in the same situation as all law enforcement. We've had less applications over the last couple of years, but we also have had some great applications. I've been lucky to get some retired staff, such as Rob, and we've had some staff come from Fargo PD recently that we're very happy with. And so, yeah, it's not the way it used to be, but we are fully staffed right now.
Okay, good. Well, that's good to hear. Well, keep up the great work, and thanks for being here again today. Brian and his team here at Luther Family Ford, big supporters of law enforcement as well, and Brian always gives a $100 gift card forward to the person who's being honored for maybe a donation to a charity or cause that means something to them. And Brian, I know it's something you like to do each time as well, and it's kind of fun to see that getting paid forward in the community a lot.
Absolutely, it's kind of the least we can do, but it gives them an opportunity to pay it forward for sure. So
yeah, good. Yeah. So I've got to ask you then, Rob, if you have a charity or nonprofit or an organization that you work with that you think might be able to be blessed with something like that, has anything come to mind for you today?
Salvation Army.
Salvation Army, yeah, they do great work here in town and all over as well. So we'll make sure that gets paid forward to them. Sandy's Donuts also saying their thanks. We'll be delivering some goodies to the department and here at Luther Family Ford as well. And we've created an honoree section on our website, am1100theflag.com, where you can read more about Rob and all the honorees that we've done in this program going back a few years now. And in the days ahead, we'll be inviting him to join Kevin and Alex on the Need to Know Morning Show on AM 1100 and FM 92.3. The Flag. And the last thing I always like to say is that at our company, when action is taken by law enforcement and it makes the news, we give the benefit of the doubt to the men and women who serve us behind the badge. We know the care they go through, we know the training they go through, we know their heart and how they want to serve our community. So we appreciate that, and we'll always remember that in our news and content coverage. So with that brings a close to today's ceremony for the Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement. Would you please join me one more time in giving a big round of applause to Parole Officer Rob Arman. And we'll see you back here in January for another edition of Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement on am1100theflag.com. Take care and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Have a good potluck. It sounds like